hail. It's not very usual that the war veterans hail the president of the republic, but today they are. Bindura, Mugabe at Bindura, 2018, interface rally, says he will follow the constitution about who is going to be the next leader of his party and also who is going to be the successor of the land. We love that. When people say they follow constitutions, we love it. So that is a statement which we welcome from the president, and that the people are going to choose whom they ever want, within Zanu-PF or on the national scale. That's what we fought for as young people, for people to choose who they want. Smith did not allow that. Now we brought it, and the president was being true to the tradition of the war veterans and what they fought for as young people. So we are happy with that proposition. Having recognized his wish for democratic choice of the party and also of the country, we appeal to the G40 to also be democratic. But their record is abysmal. Within their party, they chase away elected young people. Within their party, they chase away elected chairmen. Within their party, they dismiss war veterans left, right, and center. And the latest is Chinomona, our comrade, one of the most illustrious women comrades from the war, dismissed from the Women's League arbitrarily without anything. We are also victims of those arbitrary dismissals from the party. The latest we are hearing is that Ma'am Tero, Betting Tero, one of the oldest cadres of the party, she's 80-something years. She had the boldness to say in the Central Committee what the Women's League is doing is nonsense, and that the woman who is leading the Women's League is leading a faction. So we've been told she has been evicted from party office by Chom. This is retribution to an 82-year-old cadre of the party from old school. Incidentally, my Betting Tale is a cousin by marriage to the president. Their husband and the president, they are cousins, but from their mothers who share the same family. My order and my president, my brother, they were from the same family. Now you look at that. Somebody goes and starts with retribution. We are all objects of retribution from this G40 couple. We never tried in Zanu-PF. In my case, it went felt that there was family retribution. Even my wife, it was collective punishment in Rhodesia. The Rhodesian way of doing things, it even later extended to my wife. Now, these are the people who are aspiring to be leaders of this country. I laugh. I was reading that they appointed an elections directorate which includes these types. These people are not going to see the light of power in this public. We declare the war veterans. And when we say we declare because we have a solid case history. President Mugabe and Joshua Nkomo, Dr. Joshua Nkomo, the late, between 1960, when they formed the party, and 1979, when they won, they had very few occasions where they could campaign actually on the ground in Zimbabwe. And particularly after 1973 and after 1975, President Mugabe never set a foot in this country to campaign. He was in the war. Who campaigned for him? This team, whom they represent. This team, they campaigned village to village, town to town, hamlet to hamlet, ward to ward, cell to cell, setting up the structures, which when elections came in 1979, gave President Mugabe the most resounding victory which Africa has ever known. The first guerrilla army to accept elections is ours. In Vietnam, they never. Algeria, they never. China, they never. Cuba, they never. They won militarily and they refused the elections. We accepted because we were very confident. And we were very confident. And when the elections came, we walloped Muzoreo, and Mugabe and Nkomo came tops because of us and what we represent as the War Veterans Association. This is the A team of elections here. This is the A team of elections. Master organizers, these guys. Because if you don't organize during the war, you die. So we organize the whole villages to be what they are today. That's how you are, even yourselves today. We are master organizers. We are going to pit that impeccable record of organization against the upstarts of the G40. This is the mother of all battles in politics. This is the mother. We have been on it for some time, but today we are declaring that the battle, the campaign begins. And it is a campaign. I am presenting, the boys are back in town today. This is the A team. This is going to deliver something which even President Mugabe would never think of in 1979. We will do something much bigger. You know, we gave him victory in 2000 in 1979 with Joshua Nkomo. In 2008, he was defeated by Tsvangirai until the run-up. This A team, together with the other stakeholders, went back to the drawing board. We rescued a man who was in the jaws of defeat. The crocodiles were chewing up, the MTC crocodiles were chewing up. And do you know who had run away when he was being chewed up, you know, and he had to be rescued by the technicality? Sekrama, as one of the G40, was already in bad bridge for exile. We had to call him back to say, no, there's still a legal requirement, the people have not one come back to the office. Now he's strutting around as a candidate, as a puppet of the G40. This is a congenital coward, a born coward. Now he's part of their team, they want him to be the candidate of this country to be a successor. We are people of metal, of steel. That's what we are. That's what we grew up doing. Every day of our lives we face the enemy, day and night. That's where we come from. Sekramai does not qualify in that battle. So he can, that's why he's being chosen by people who are war veterans to be a president. If he was genuinely a war veteran, he would come to these guys like we did in 1979 to choose Nkomo and Mugabe as our candidates for 79. Not Zorewa. We did. They came from the war. Any leader who did not come from the war would not have made it. And since 79, any leader without the pedigree from the war cannot make it. We are not saying we're a breed forever. We are just saying stick to the ethos of those people who fought it. And when we are going to be campaigning, he has told you, now, wherever there is a competent comrade who can be a candidate, we will support him. But we know that we are people of the people. We are the vanguard of the people. We shall identify in each constituency the most popular person, regardless of affiliation. We shall identify and we shall stick and support that candidate against anybody else. It's called the United Front. That's what we built during the war. To unite all the country. You know, everyone used to be clan, this, totem, this, tribe, this, regional, this. We united in the war, we never even knew our surnames. We are the most united Zimbabweans. Up to here, we don't even, now we know where they come from, but during the war, we never did. And it is that sense of unity which makes us so strong on the ground. And we shall be selling it to the people. So what are we saying? We are saying to the Zimbabwean people, they are now back again with you on the ground, like we did. They are going to work with all the progressive Zimbabweans on the ground, like we did. My collaborators are on the ground, march. These guys, the 18 here, it shall go to the children of the war veterans in their entirety. And because this war was fought in every village has got a war veteran who is either there, or the children are there, or the collaborators are there. We are now telling them to start campaigning. So we start from the grassroots. These guys, whom the G40, whom the president like, They are starting from Harare. We start from where? From the grassroots, from the village, from Bari, from Makokoba, from Sakuba. That's where we're starting. So now it's an instruction to our people. The revolution is being threatened. Start from where we are. We know how to organize. Because we defeated the only other institution of organization in this country was the white one. There were very few, but they made us run around and made Mugabe, Cuomo, everybody stay in jail until we got organized outside the country as war veterans, as the army. We freed them from jail. Otherwise, they would have languished in jail. They would have languished in jail. They have no magic simply by being very bold in jail to free themselves. The boldness came from our day-to-day deaths in the bush to free them. So we know what we've done for them. The favors do not come from us to Mugabe. The favors go the other way. He owes us, but he has never wanted to repay that favor in earnest. I'm sorry. That's why these upstarts, who are all appointed by him, are running around rich people. They've got mansions. They fire the city councils left, right, and center. They do things which are unimaginable. They are land barons, they are everything. All because they were appointed by Mugabe. We are not appointed by the president. We chose to be what we are by our own offering, our lives. So we owe nothing. We owe nothing to anybody. We owe it to ourselves and to those of our comrades who never made it back. And that is for whom we are going to campaign, and that also includes the villagers who died in that process. Those are to whom we owe a debt, not to anybody else. So we are declaring that the A team is beginning to campaign. It's going to start campaigning immediately. We want to settle this battle between G40 and war veterans once and for all. What we do, we appeal to the armed forces, police, as well as all the other arms of the state. Just make sure there is peace and order in the country. Maintain peace and order. We will deal with the situation. We want to appeal to the judiciary. Just remain there, because we want to teach people, to whap people, to shell at people thoroughly, so that they will never again. We are appealing to Rita Makarau, Judge Rita Makarau, and her team to do a professional job. Because we are very confident of where we stand with the people. So we want just Zimbabwe to give the world a parable of an election well run. So that my A team can give a whopping, a shellacking to the G40, which they will never again forget in history. What are we all saying to the political figures, to the political leadership? Because the enemy is the G40. All the political aspirants, they are free to identify with which side they want. Should they decide to go with the G40, if they want to come and join us here where the people are, then they will be in power again the same way we put Mugabe and Gomo in power in 1979. So the choice for the political figures is theirs across the whole spectrum. We never went to war to fight for leaders. You know that. We didn't even know that we eventually win so that we elect a leader. We fought for Zimbabwe, for freedom. Yes. Then the leaders. And that's exactly the mood in which we are today. We are going to fight for Zimbabwe. Why do we want to fight for Zimbabwe? Young people don't marry anymore because they have no future. Why? Because the economy has been ruined by G40. Chombo has been a minister for more than 15-20 years. Kasukwere has been equally minister. What do they have to show for it? Nothing. No skyscraper is there going, no cranes going up in the country. No road. No. The president is never seen cutting the ribbon of an infrastructure project. Instead, we have the vice president moving around selling chickens from every And the madness of selling chickens has even gone to a higher level. in their hierarchy of the G40. Somebody is now saying, I can go around winning people by selling chicken to their old chicks. Come on, a modern country. You go around selling day old chicks and campaign, you say you are campaigning. It's the loss of vision. This is what Zimbabweans are facing. That's why the young people are in the diaspora. That's why Gwede Matashe can say all Zimbabweans are in Johannesburg. So, we want to restore hope to this country because we're the original visionaries and we will restore hope. People who cannot deliver an economy cannot deliver a vote. And that would be our mantra to the population. If they could not deliver an economy, your child who has a degree is still asking for money from the mother when you thought by sending it to school you eventually be free and then maybe help me. No, it's still there. They're all meddling around us, these kids, because their future has been stolen. Stolen by who? And the G40. I ask again. There are capital markets where you go and look for money to develop your country. The G40, Jonathan Chombo, Kaswere, have never been to Madrid where they look for capital, to Seoul where they look for capital, to Singapore where they look for, to Hong Kong, to London, to New York, all these places where there's capital to build infrastructure. They've never been there. They are mailing around one person at the State House. Every day in the morning, they are watching this person. That's what they are all doing. Now, you want those people to become leaders of this country. We will not allow it. We will not allow it. It won't happen again. They are vacuous, they are vapid, they are vain. They should be nowhere near power. These people, that's who they are. They are not even now wanted in the region. You saw Gwede Matashe. This is the regional superpower making comments about this country. It reflects on the emptiness of those people who have been at the helm of power. We have never been at the helm of power. So if they could get 50, they even got a legislature in 2013. What did they use it for? To settle scores among themselves, within the party, to chase out Jews. Now they want to, they are after the president. Now they are this. All the cartoons you see about Jonathan is killing a crocodile in a river, saying, I'm Humpty Dumpty, you know, I'm the biggest. That's all he can do about this country. And now that many things he can be in power. And he's entertained at State House, that kind of charlatan. The era of charlatans is over. That's what we are saying. Comrades, I want to salute again those comrades who we talked about. But I also want to hail a particular section of the war veterans from 1973 to 1974, particularly the Mugagao group, the one which made it possible to change leadership outside of Salisbury for the first time, which marked the shift that the liberation struggle was succeeding. Before leadership was being decided in Salisbury, now it was decided in a military camp. That's how President Mugabe ends up as the president of Zimbabwe. It started at Mugagao. Don't listen to him to say he started from anywhere. It's not true. He went to Lusaka in 1974, trying to sign the unity accord. Was kicked away. He was there. He came back with his tail between his legs. They couldn't accept him. Only when we made a decision, those who were in the war, to say he's the leader, that's how he became the leader. That generation of young fighters from 74, particularly the Mugagao Declaration, they went on to form ZIPA. The ZIPA is one which resumed the war which the Rhodesians had stopped. The ZIPA is the one which united ZIPA and Zanu forces to come together and start the offensive from Mozambique. I know I was there. The president was not part of that team at that time. It was done only by the military boys from both sides. Mangena, Zino, and a lot of others. Those are the people who resumed the struggle. Beyond resuming the struggle, there were only about 1,000, 1,500, if not less. They now had 20 to 30, 40,000 Zimbabweans in Mozambique and in Zambia coming to war within a very short period of time. The big guys, the big army which left. And these guys from Mugagao, and they trained all those to become the modern army which defeated Ian Smith. That's a That is the generation which includes the Valerio Spandas. That is the generation which includes Chishiri. That is the generation which includes Chiwenga and many others. These are some of them are here. These are the heroes of the Zimbabwe Revolution. Those guys from Gagao. Do you know what they taught us? We were coming from university and everywhere. You don't even remember your name, you are Zimbabwean. Nothing but Zimbabwean. So we went to home, never asking that, can you defend me because you come from Lusaka and I come from Makoni? Can you defend me because I come from Mondoro and he comes from Bembes? We never did that when we were fighting in sections. We defended each other because we were Zimbabweans. Yes. So we made everybody become Zimbabwean. That's what we did. What are we being told? We are being told, Mazezulu Mchatonga Kwatuwesh. Songs being made by the National Political Commissar, Mazezulu Mchatonga. And now the president is obliged to answer about charges about tribalism. In agenda setting, you know what is agenda setting? Agenda setting by the G40, bringing in divisive issues, giving the president an agenda to comment on frivolous items which divide the people. We never did that during the war. We gave them the message of unity. That's what we did. That's what we stand for. And that's the message which we are going to be taking to the people. They can remain with their messages of parochial ideas about, tribalism. Hey, Vekuma Shingo. Hey, Vekuma Shingo. Hey, that's not language which we know. It doesn't exist to us as war veterans. And incidentally, I want to tell you something about this thing is tribalism. I have been consistently a victim of tribalism. Starting in 1979, when I was coming back to campaign, I was removed from the team initially from Maputo by Nathan Shamyarira and Webster Shamu. Because my name is Mutsvangwa, they thought I came from Chipili. So I was removed from the team. When we opened Linkwenda House after independence, Minister Shamyarira was told that I am from Chipingi once again. I couldn't get a job. Justin Yoka came, the late journalist, to tell me that, Mazezulu Makapusa Stere. Urukula kwa chukonwa muno mkirukira wapi wabasa yewa nyimu wakaenda tuzomanya kuna amuzenda. Vanduka achipana Mazezulu, iwo Mzezulu wanyimu. You know, I was so frustrated because wadi kuenda kwa president Mzezulu. Anashamyarira wakunyima Mzezulu. I said, I will never go to stoop so low to go and ask for a job from the president because I'm Zezuru. I decided to pack my clothes and go back to university. Rather than go back to the indignity of being identified as a tribal person, I went back to study law at the university. It is from the university, a second time, that I joined the government, was not going to become a diplomat. And when I joined, I went to the Foreign Service. By then, Shamyarira had discovered that I am Zezuru from Mondoro, his home area. I was his daddy. He loved me. In Namibia. He was, you see, tribalism. I'm getting it. He now loved me. He even wanted me to become the Director General of the ZPC. Unfortunately, he was changed as a minister. He became Foreign Affairs. So another minister, Manchi Tepo, came. Then the Zezulu Committee of 26, that's what I'm getting at. The Zezulu Committee of 26. They organized John Simba, who was claiming to be a doctor in the CEO, to stop me from going there because I'm Manika from Chipingi. It had come back again. So I was told. Until Manchi Tepo says, well, I'm the minister from Manika, and if he's Manika from Chipingi, let him go. So I was eventually ended up at ZPC. You see the petty tribalism which is going on? The president alluded to it the other day because that's what he did with Chimoyo. He was fixing the leadership on tribal lines. We on the front, we didn't do that. We never asked ourselves on tribal lines. We couldn't fight on tribal lines. I went to ZPC, but the committee of 26 could not forgive me. And you know who comes to help me to go to ZPC at that time? None other than Ignatius Chombo. He is coming from university in America. He was done. He couldn't pass all level at Kutama. His father, no matter how much his father tried, he was influential with the father, the married brothers. He could simply not cross the line of it. So he had to eventually end up as a teacher rather than what his father aspired to be, a primary school teacher. Later I see him coming back from the war. He is now coming to my house because he has been to Parkland Hotel here, where the committee of 26 Zulus was meeting. And he had said, can you induct me into your committee? Because I'm also Zulu. And I can also bring you some clever people from the war who are Zulu in Chamba. So he comes to my house to recruit me to come and join the committee of 26. He says, I can tell them that you are Zulu, you know, they are mistaken, they think you are Manika. That's Chombo. I said, Chombo, leave my house. You didn't even go, you didn't have the courage to go to the war. Now you are trying to tell me the reactionary ideas, retrogressive ideas. I don't want to do. This is fact. About what am I getting in? Most of the issues about tribal, they come from the Frolis clique. It's known throughout the war for having a clique. Basically, the was society. That's the clique which has been causing tribal divisions within the party. That is the clique. And I know because I'm a Zulu and I'm a victim of that clique. Because they have the wrong name Mutsvangwa. Because they think I come from Chief Mutsvangwa and Chipingi. I want to tell the president that if he wants to start talking about tribalism and mentioning regions, charity begins at home. He should. That's why Tongo Garaneba. That's why Tongo Garaneba wanted to take Shamarira in the political bureau. He never wanted Shamarira in the political bureau. He only became a member of the leadership after the war when Tongo Garaneba died. Because Tongo Garaneba started fighting against Chitepo even as far back as 1956 on behalf of parochial regional interests. So I want to appeal to Zimbabweans. The tribal talk does not come from the A-team and all they stand for. The tribal talk comes from the G40. So if they have one reason that they failed with an economy, to deliver an economy, they have another reason not to vote them. They are tribalists. So tribalists will not see power in Zimbabwe. We are actually giving you an election agenda. That's what this team is doing. The A-team. We are going to fight against people who can't run a modern economy. We have no vision, we have no nothing, we have ruined all the lives of young people, giving no hope to young people. That's what they've done. So those people, we are going to campaign them. That's their biggest failing. Just to make a country which is modern, so redundant. It's a redundant country. Nothing happens here. No man, a modern economy of very clever people. All reduced to caricatures of poverty. They're all caricatures of poverty. Tambo Sepa in this whole region. When we export people, everybody who is born wants to get a passport to run away. Every young person's aspiration is to live in country for greener pastures abroad. You want those people back in power? So they fail to deliver economy. Two, they're tribalists. So we will not tolerate tribalism in this country. Regionalism, we will not. That's their second biggest sin. Third is corruption. They can't build anything. I told you, they've never cut a ribbon for infrastructure. They've never been to the capital market to build it. They can't talk to village businessmen all over the world. They take the rich economy which is there, until the economy is nothing. They don't make any tax returns about their business interests. Now, all they used to leave commissions on commissions. Anna Jonathan, they are made ministers of he starts developing Cholocho by tasks of poisoned elephants. This is a country with chrome, with iron ore, a country with coal, with diamonds. No, you want to modernize Cholocho with tasks of poisoned elephants. Why are you in cabinet? Useless. If you think that tasks are the ones which can build an economy which is so rich, there's a mismatch between the capacity of the country and the very tiny brains of the G40. What do? They resort only to corruption. That's what they do. They've got accounts all over. Their children are all over. Going to, but nothing productive ever coming to them. You never see them signing agreements, major agreements about 2 billion to build an airport or this. No, nothing. I'm saying with experience. all the 4 major recapitalizations for the agriculture program of Zimbabwe since 1994, they came from me. I started with the South African one. I'm the one who was involved to bring DEPSA, Development Bank of Southern Africa, first time in Zimbabwe, to build the link between Beitbridge and Gweru for telecommunications. I brought DEPSA. I'm the one who brought the Chinese Export-Import Bank to fund the tractors, which you saw, the big lot. I was ambassador to China. I am the one who, as Deputy Minister of Foreign, went for the Brazilian loan. I'm the one who brought it as Deputy Minister of Foreign. I am the one who put Zimbabwe on Indian Export-Import Bank loan. I am the one with my arm sender who did the leaf tobacco industry, TIP now, which is bringing 1.5 billion. These are all signature Mutsvangwa projects. So I know what I'm talking about, the capital markets. I was in cabinet. When I started trying to talk this language, I could have been in this room talking to Kate Edwards from They have absolutely no clue. They have absolutely no clue. Now they want again to entrust that kind of inuta. These malls under the ground with power. You can't. So all they know is corruption. And we are going to campaign against them on the ticket of corruption. Well, it's very difficult when the president has got his wife and she's a first lady to speak ill, because it translates somehow into disrespect according to some people. But in a republic which is constitutional, the only person we know is the president. And the president is not married for the first time. This is the second time he's married. All these guys here who fought in that war, we never knew that there was a first family to fight for. Whether it was Bomo's first family or Mugabe's first family. We did not know that there was a first family. And if you had told the comrades that they were fighting for the first family, they were offering their voluntary lives. We were not paid. We were doing it because we love the country. Nobody would have fought because for me, the first family is my mother and my father. Not anybody else. Now there's this new talk, first family. It's nonsense. It doesn't exist. That house there, across the road, is called the Parliament of Zimbabwe. The only thing which matters comes from that house. That's where you read, you find your place in the socio-economic milieu of Zimbabwe, political milieu of Zimbabwe, in what the documents from that house says. Anything which you derogate yourself in the street, we don't care about it. I could not be an astronaut if I wanted to, and I woke up like an astronaut, like a doctor. The secretary just says I'm a doctor with a paper between. There's no qualifications. This self-allocation of titles, nickname, title, asking existing constitution, then you want the whole country to respect you for that, or to fear you for that. It's finished. We are Republicans. We are all equal. That's how we fought. We are Republicans. Anybody who tries to be non-Republican and look for any either an oligarchy or a dynasty or whatever, as we say exist, and I'm very glad the president of the Republic slew that beast and said that I will not make a dynasty. Thank you, Mr. President. So this is issue which is very, very important to us. Nyaya Yeguti. People should not arrogate themselves titles which they do. But there is an aspect to it which is very interesting. There's superstition now in it. I wish I brought the Sunday Mail. Is anybody from the Sunday Mail in? Front page, ne underwrites from Mashona and Center. Anyway, that's one, it's blasphemy to the courageous woman called Name. Yes. Blasphemy to an illustrious national hero. But somebody wants to say I'm now possessed with that spirit. There is another one called Mande who says now Manchimeni, he comes from Akon, he says I'm also possessed with the spirit of Chingaira, whose head was taken to London. Superstitious nonsense. I mean, this is which is being paid by people who want to aspire to be power. You know what it is leading to? It's leading to Boko Haram. It's leading to ISIS. Appealing to religious sects which are only in their head. The war which we fought was fought on scientific basis. It was a modern scientific war, guerrilla war. with Mao, with the Lenin, with all the other ideologies, which made it. That's why we won. Now we are being told the war was won by superstitious nonsense. Tinokana amasvikiroga tochisununguka katosorobodza masvikiro. Because kusorobodza first lady kungatinetsa, asi kusorobodza svikiro kuri easy. That's what clones are. I'm trying to pass him. I tried to defend the 12 pounds. Then we can answer back. Let me tell you something which I hate by my word. I was in the politics. Today I'm a historian like the president. There is a tiff between Opa Uchinguri, the honorable minister, and the first lady. They shout at each other and then Opa gets the upper hand. She's a comrade. I want to tell you, comrades know their stuff. She wasn't going to take any nonsense. And she delivered it back. Somebody ended up in tears and they appealed to the vice president of the republic. Not to your husband. She appealed to me, protect him. And what comes out of your mouth? From the president, the vice president, me protect because inini dakazotora murume akaiwa number 1 kuhondo akawaida vachimutadza. So all these young girls who are here, all these young girls, she's one of them. Tomba, where is she? Tomba. She's here. They left between 12 and 16. 12 and 18. Was not Tomboiva. Better. Why end up not a movie? One line of Toshakawan. But you see, take one, St. Augustine's. I'm telling you about what I hate. You know, 2 weeks ago there was a rich dance in Johannesburg. I mean, in Swaziland. Young maidens dancing for the king of the Swazis. We are now being told the people who went to war in the 70s, the young girls, it was a rich dance for one man to be married to the leaders of this country. And I thought somebody would say, no, these young girls you are disparaging about are the ones who made me commander-in-chief, who made me the president of the republic. Somebody was mute. Somebody was mute. And that slave went unchallenged in the political bureau. That's when I gave up. I said I don't need to be part of this lot. We are in cabinet. We are in cabinet. Kosazana has announced that to live in the OAU, the RU, to become a candidate in South Africa, a woman. So the president raises the matter, just for observations. Kasukwere, in his wisdom, decides to intervene and maybe edify the debate. President Nyairi, the issue there is that the Zulus of South Africa, they've put Zuma, they are determined to make sure that another Zulu person comes, and then afterwards another Zulu, because they want to revive the kingdom of Chaka. That's what is the issue in South Africa. Now, in the sub-region, the only other big tribe which can be a counterweight to the imperial Zulus are the Shonas of Zimbabwe. So we have to unite with the Shonas. And our candidate there is Ramaphosa, because he's Venda Soto. He's near us. So the Sotos and the Shonas, they unite in a big alliance against encroaching Zulu, Nguni, imperialism. This is in cabinet. I'm a revolutionary. I was with the ANC guys in Tanzania. When the ANC guys in Zambia. We fought Umkondo Sizwe and Zipra and Wanke as one people, never asking where. Now we are being told these tales of tribalism from a young man and his national political officer. I'll be very candid. After I spoke, the president said the debate will be kept. He comes and he pats me at the back on his way out, surreptitious. We are patting me in the back surreptitious, and I knew that he was afraid of something. You understand? He should have said it open and even fired that minister for talking tribalism. No, he comes and says. Then I knew that the authority had slipped away. What am I getting? He was no longer in authority. He was no longer. He knew that he would be, if he were to do it openly, he would be punished elsewhere. Why am I saying this? Because why would you do that? He has known me for a long time. You should have. Why am I saying this? It's about the coming elections. my comrade has done it, they've said it. We are focused on 2018 now, not anything else. We are focused on what? 2018. You have attributed that we have a choice with the war veterans. I am the chairman. I have never made any announcement about a candidate as the chairman. Since the whole our problems began, we have no candidate officially. We don't have. And you can see it as I have never said it. We never declared a candidate ourselves. But the G40 have announced a candidate. They went to announce it at Sekramai's place, I mean at Sekramai, at Ibomandaza's place, at Sapes. And they've been going on saying anoint, 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 because they have a candidate. They've even an elections directorate we are being told has been formed, which is again to try to anoint. You see, we have a difference between us and the leaders like Anna President. The president was in Maputo because we were afraid that he would be killed the way Chitepo and JZ was done. So we basically cloistered the president in the safety of Maputo. He supported the war from a strategic point of view, the big picture. We did the fight on the ground from a tactical point of view. So we deal with danger on a day-to-day basis. We saw danger in the G40 2 years ago. If you remember, that's when I announced that we were going to fight against the G40. And even the president was saying, no pega on a G40, and there was a lie. I'm very glad he has the humility to accept that the G40 exists in the situation last rally. So you see the difference between So you see the difference between people with a strategic view and those with a tactical view. You see, we see danger immediately. What does it mean? We are now very clear that the president is not the candidate of Zanu-PF in 2018. The candidate for Zanu-PF is a G40 person called Sekramai and Neshikiro Rake. And they announced it publicly. That's the candidate whom they announced. So, when you want to cook fish and you want to taste it very well, Matonga Arikoe, those from the Tonga people, you must put the fish in foil because the skin is to be preserved so that you taste it. The candidate, one president is wrapping a foil, aluminium foil, wrapping a G40 candidate called Sekramai. So we are not going to be fooled to go in an election where the candidate is not clear, where the candidate is a ruse, where the candidate is a foil. No. He says, he grasped the network to say, we need to have elections in Zanu-PF to choose it. So, Mr. President, let's go and have the Congress immediately. Let the people choose. Let the people choose whom they want to be a leader ahead of the elections. Then that matter is decided. If that matter is decided the way he explained it with Pindura elections after the Congress of Zanu-PF, the president will not need to campaign even at 94 years old. He can sleep at home. He will still win resounding. If there's a Congress and Zanu-PF elects a success. What? On the other hand, if the president decides to go to the elections without a Congress, and he is the foil, aluminium foil for a G40 candidate, the defeat of 2008 will be a child's play. Because we will make sure that the G40 loses, and he will leave office with the ignominy of a G40 defeat. That's what you do. So the choice is up to the president. We are appealing to him. We met you during the war. We met you, we ran your election in 1979. You just came from Maputo, in the last minute. We did it on the ground. That's what we know, organizing people. There is nobody in this country because organization, the DNA is in the blood. You have been to do it. It's not from university. It's not from academia. It's from doing it on the ground. That is the machinery of organization which you are putting on the ground. President, you can try your luck with tested G40s. He can try his luck. election. So Congress, before the elections, he is a winner with us. If he goes to the elections without a Congress having been done, I'm sorry. For Sangana background, for that hour. And his defeat of the G40 will be his defeat. By and large, my comrades, this is the message which the 18 here is presenting to you.
For these and other stories, visit our website www.263chat.com. Follow us on Twitter @263chat and like our Facebook page 263chat.